Genji 2 is an action game which is based on Japanese history. Being based on history, the stages of the game will also be based on famous battles which actually took place in ancient Japan. So here's this giant enemy crab.
Do you have your talking points ready, Jacob? Are you prepared?
Nope.
You're in charge today. You're in
this
charge today. You're winging it, just like a dragon wing, maybe chicken wing, one of the infinite bird wings.
Infinite bird wings. My favorite.
Yeah, I was watching him play for a little bit, and there's like a lot of things to collect, and there's like a lot of little junk everywhere.
There's a lot everywhere. It's just the game is a lot.
It looks like there's a lot, and I don't know anything about it, but this is like the Ananta thing where I'm like, there's too much going on here for there to be any real substance. But I don't know. We'll find out today on the Giant Enemy Crab podcast. We're here. We made it.
Hey,
there it is. That's what I was waiting for. I'm your co-host Fliz. I am joined today by my wonderful two co-hosts, KylarEmiya.
Hello.
And Strider1.
Greetings.
And last week we got into the DLSS 5 news. You said you had a quick update about that?
I did, yeah.
What you got?
So after all the whole debacle and everyone getting really mad at DLSS 5, excuse me, the CEO of NVIDIA was like, no, you guys are wrong. Gamers are wrong. You're all wrong because you see, this isn't like a AI slop filter. What it actually does is it goes into like the geometry of the game and analyzes like what's going on in order to create this effect, right? Mm-hmm. He got caught that was a lie. Because a YouTuber, Daniel Owen, actually reached out to NVIDIA and was responded to by NVIDIA engineer Jacob Freeman, who confirmed that no, what's actually happening is it just feeds like a frame that's produced by the graphics card, and then it takes input of like the motion vectors to understand how objects are moving, and that's it. That's all it uses, and then it just applies its little AI filter from there. That's all that's happening. So it is literally just an Instagram or Snapchat filter. That's all it is. So
you can tell.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not hard to see.
Yeah.
The other quick thing I saw about that is that Capcom and I believe Ubisoft, I could be wrong on that second one, but I know for sure Capcom, the devs didn't know about this thing until the day it happened.
Yeah.
And that's kind of to be expected with, corporate pushing things. They're not going to clue in the devs. But I was thinking, what a slap in the face to be like, hey guys, I know you spent all this time working on this game and made it look like Resident Evil 9 is a good looking game. Everything about it is smooth and pretty. And then they're just like, we're going to make it pretty ourselves. F you. I'm like, oh, that's messed up. Like all the hard work of the graphic designers in there just kind of pooped on by a gross filter.
If it's any consolation, everyone hated it.
Yeah, that's true. They there must have been some vindication there. Like, what is this? Oh, good.
Everyone hates
Nobody
it.
liked that. Yeah.
So the other thing too that they said, there's two things actually. One is they said that this is not a replacement for ray tracing. Was saying specifically that they said that the better the lighting is, the better DLSS 5 would work. So this does not replace ray tracing or trace pathing at all. The other thing was that they were very hesitant to be like to give more details of like what exactly devs could control in regards to the lighting. So it makes me wonder if this is actually a fairly limited tool.
It probably is. I mean, in its current state, probably.
So we'll just have to see how that works. But yeah, that was my quick update for DLSS 5.
Beautiful. So we'll keep an eye on that and let you know what we see. What'd you say? That's slated for
fall of this
October? Fall. So somewhere around there. Dang. Probably it'll be forced and there'll be nothing we can do about it until it gets better. Wonderful.
Well, it's going to be optional no matter what. So.
Okay. Well, at least that's good.
Yeah.
That's good. Now that we've done our work, somebody else has been doing a lot of hours of work this week, putting in the time and the effort to give us his review of Monster Hunter Stories 3. And of course, the popular Crimson Desert. I do not like that name. I think it's kind of generic, but I am not a player of it. I have kept an eye on what's been going on. We kind of looked at the game from the start of its hype a couple months ago, and it looked like another one of these games that can't possibly have all the things that it says it has. So far, that track record has been pretty bad with things like Mind's Eye. So everybody's been kind of cautiously optimistic about what this game can be. A lot of people are excited for it. We saw a bunch of reviews come out, and after scrolling and looking through, like, I don't know, probably two dozen reviews, text and video, like, there's no general consensus. Everybody is like everywhere. So we'll just give you our Strider. How is I automatically give it 0 stars because we couldn't do what I wanted. So
We could not fucking powerbomb a child.
I wanted him to clothesline a child, and it wouldn't let you do that. Any game where it lets you do whatever you want except what you can do in Fallout 2, I'm sad. But how do you feel about it so far? Tell me what's going on.
There's a lot to unpack, and kind of to start off, we'll go with, as you were talking about the reviews. It's been a while since I've seen a game this divisive with how people are reading. It is, people, like, the subreddit is a war zone right now. It's like so much toxic negativity, so much toxic positivity. People are treating this as either like it broke into their house, shot their dog, and their wife, or
it's one of the many things you can do in the game,
or it's the second coming of Christ. Like, it's one or the other. It's insane. Like, it's like gaming is safe, like, is how some people are treating this, or they've lied. The devs have lied. They shot my dog. They my wife. They burnt my house down, and then they spit on my grave. Like, it's insane how much people, like, hate this game and love this game.
Yeah, I mean, it's got a lot of hype around it regardless. What, it already sell 2 million that quick?
Yeah, in just under a day, I think. They announced this morning that it was at 2 million sales.
Oh my gosh. I mean, good for them. That means it's going to have it's going to have updates and whatnot, like, regardless. They got their money.
Yeah, no, from what I understand, like, when the devs were, like, the pipeline for when reviewers were playing the game, they basically had a direct line with Pearl Abyss, basically, so they could report bugs in it and some of the things. And, like, some of the bugs were literally fixed in half an hour after being reported.
Mm-hmm.
And we've already got
awesome.
our first patch. But, yeah, no, the game definitely was overhyped, like, no matter what happened. But it's strong, high amount of players on first day, but the reviews are very much. So to get in the beginning it's hard because the first, like, 5 hours of this game are rough. Like,
oh, really?
Because here's what happens, like, in the first 15-20 minutes is you literally just spawn in, like basically spawn in, and it just drops you from the main character's perspective, Cliff, and he's walking around his camp talking to people, and then they get attacked by, I'm not even sure, another group of, like, mercenaries, the Black Bears. Mm-hmm. And it ends with Cliff getting killed. And then you get dumped in a river, and it kind of just, like, does that Matrix effect you saw. And then all of a sudden you're in these, like, what is known as the Abyss, which are these sky islands with, like, futuristic tech. And you're just kind of wandering around. Cliff hasn't reacted, like, in any way. You explore for a little bit, you go through it, it's like it's a bunch of tutorials, like, it's just introducing gameplay mechanics as it goes, and then it finishes, and then it just cuts to him, like, next to a river, and it's like, and then some guy's like talking to you, he's like, here, follow me, and he takes you into town, and then you just start having to do like a bunch of MMO side quests. Is kind of how I describe it. Because a lot of it is like you're not given reasons from like talking to people on like what you need to do next. It just will be like the objective will update and say, go here, do this. Very much.
Yeah, I forgot to ask if you were doing like anything important, because it just looked like you were like a little quest would pop up, you'd go do that. A little quest would pop up, you go do that.
I was just wondering when the gameplay you were watching, where I was just wandering for the most part, and then I went back and did a couple side quests. But I was there's just stuff to like just completely get sidetracked. It was very easy to keep getting sidetracked so far, because I've got about 15 hours in so far. But yeah, no, you get taken into town, and it's like a bunch of introductory side quests, because for people who don't know, Pearl Abyss's other game, this is their second game, but the one that their claim to fame beforehand was the Korean MMO Black Desert Online. So, and there's very much a lot of DNA of that game, from what I understand, like in terms of like there's a lot of MMO isms that are in this game as well.
Okay.
But because it's like a lot of very mundane, slow burn things. Like MMO fetch quests was kind of what it was having me do to start with.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I remember when we were watching like early and like reviews or like people like playing the game for the first like hour or so. That was a very common consensus. Was a lot of the game's quests were very reminded them of MMOs, and they're very arbitrary and kind of like difficult to follow sometimes. So yeah, it doesn't surprise me, especially because Black Desert Online was I've played it, and I remember thinking that, man, I really wish this wasn't an MMO, because the game looks really good and it's really fun to play. I just didn't like it as an MMO. I wish it was an RPG instead.
I remember somebody trying to show me the game when I was streaming. They're like, come play. And then they're like, check out my gameplay. And I watched for like 20 minutes to half an hour, and it was nothing but just running around. Like there wasn't anything, you just a lot of running. And I kind of saw that in this game, where you're just kind of like, it seems like the quests are just there for you to fill out the map to some degree. Especially there was one you ran into. It cracked me up because you ran into a place and it's like, you don't know what to do here yet. You got to find, search the continent for somebody to talk to about this. And I'm like, what?
I don't have, I'm not far enough in the story is what it's basically telling me, is how I was reading that I don't have the tool I need.
I'm sure. It just was a really weird way to phrase it. Like, just search the entire world for a thing.
Because that's the thing with this game, is like, it's both trying to be immersive, but it also puts gameplay first, where it'll just flat out break like any semblance of like in like telling you something in universe to just give you a pop-up like that says you can't do this right now. Go further. But I'm thankful for that, so I'm not wandering around trying to figure it out, because a lot of this game is literally going, can I try this? Can I do this? And trying it and learning. Because there's a surprising amount of things that like I've already discovered.
If it's done well, the first game that comes to mind is Vampire the Masquerade, where it was just like, I wonder if this will work. Oh, okay, now I'm in trouble. Like that's a cool idea if done properly.
Yeah.
Is this in that same vein to some degree, or is it just kind of actions? Does this action work? Does it really affect the story, or just like, can I chop this tree down with my sword?
It's the like sandbox environment you have is very cool and what you can do, but the story, in the way, especially the way it's presented to you, is so confusing. In the fact that it just feels broken. Like that review we watched, or that early gameplay we watched before, where the people had like 6 hours to play it and then talked about it. Like when he was going through the order of what happened in his playthrough, it's literally like one for one what actually happens in the full game. Because I was thinking that gameplay, that like some of it was cut, like the story was cut to get them into the meat faster. Mm-hmm. But no, it's literally just that incohesive in terms of like, you're kind of doing this, you're kind of doing that now. Like it's kind of like everything was designed, like the actual like isolated, the quests are fine, like they're fine side quest type thing. because that's most of what I've been doing. Like the voice acting is really good. The problem with it is that everyone has these awkward pauses. Like they'll do a line delivery, and then they'll keep talking, and it's kind of paced like this. Like it's very weird. But the actual like delivery is fine. It's just these awkward pauses. Like it's like they stitch different reads together. Like
Maybe they did. Oh my god, you're gonna have to talk about the controls.
Yes.
I'm looking at some graphs here. Maybe some Excel spreadsheets on what the controls are.
I remember seeing on the subreddit someone just posted a picture of a controller and it had like 5 extra thumbsticks.
Yes. So the thing with the controls is at face value, they're like if you just look at a list of the controls, you're gonna be like, what the f is this? Actually playing it once, like, is it the?
That's what I'm talking about. It's just a big old.
Because this is like
there's 2 pages of that.
The thing with some of these is literally that the same, like, some of these are literally just one action will go into the other by just holding the button. It's not nearly as complicated as it looks. The problem with it is the control scheme was like, it was designed by someone who hasn't played a video game before, is how I describe it. It's very much it reminds me of Red Dead's controls. Like, for example, they've completely, like, you don't have normal movement in this game, where it's you walk by default, you tap A once to jog, you double tap it to run, and you keep tapping to sprint.
Yuck. Wait, isn't that a GTA thing?
Yes.
Okay.
This game is, the way I would describe this game is Red Dead Redemption 2 meets Dragon's Dogma with a like a Devil May Cry light combat system. It's kind of how I would describe it.
I can see that because I was watching you do some combat, and my one thing that I was like, it didn't seem like I was watching somebody do the same moves over and over again. Like, it looked like you were doing all kinds of different stuff for fighting 20 or 30 dudes at once.
It's because you quickly because this control scheme you posted is like end game once you have like because the game's at least 100 hours.
Mm-hmm.
But that's like once you have
worth.
Yeah, like once you have all of your skills. But like because of the pacing of how you get skill points and improve, like you get time to build the muscle memory of like what everything does. Like these controls are weird. I will give, and like the control complaints are valid. But the people are saying like these are the worst controls ever are overselling it a bit. Like they definitely take a few hours to get used to, like to build the muscle memory. But once you're used to them, I think the controls are fine. But I can definitely see someone bouncing off of them because of the controls.
Because I'm seeing people
not
with 10 hours that are still bitching about the controls.
Because the weird thing to me is like it took me probably, I would say, about 2 hours before I was comfortable with the controls, and about 5 or 6 for them like to fully settle, where I didn't feel like I had any problems. But
I mean, like, what's the Devil May Cry with the puppet guy and the
V
and the is that 5?
Yeah, 5.
Okay, I beat that game, and then I got halfway through it again, and I still didn't really understand all the controls. You know, it's just, that's how some games are, and I love that game. Sometimes I see those YouTube videos of people who've like, they do like 5 straight minutes of a combo, and I'm like, no, I'll leave it to you guys. But I can see how that is not a totally impossible thing to get way into a game and still not really grasp every combo mechanic.
I'm looking at like the in-game controls.
Yeah,
It's like looking at the controls for a fighting game.
yeah, it's not as difficult. Like if you can play Devil May Cry, you can play this. Is kind of how Devil
Both
May Cry is
L2
harder.
and L1 are both aim, but one is for guard and one is for shoot.
Strider, I'm seeing one review that says 4 hours in, this guy says thumbs up. You can run into kids and absolutely without mercy slam them into the ground. 10 out of 10. What were we doing wrong? How did we?
If you run into them at full sprint, you will literally just kind of truck them over.
Oh, that's.
But you can't actually attack them.
Oh,
as I thought.
Okay.
Really, I thought someone I think I saw that post too. People were saying that you could actually kick the children as well.
Oh yeah, I didn't try that to do the precision. That is the other thing, is that like, you have to get used to holding the left bumper because it does a lot of context sensitive things like precision jumping or like picking up a specific item that you're trying to look at.
Yeah. You can tell.
But you also have to be ready to put up with a lot of idiosyncrasies with this, because there's like stuff like when you're buying stuff from someone's shop, for example, right? There is stuff like they have their normal shop menus, right? But there's also stuff on the table and around them that you can point and look at and buy, and it's not in that menu. So it's like they're physical objects that you can see.
I think Red Dead does that too.
Yeah, like there's a lot of Red Dead's DNA. And it's been a long time since I played, but I was starting to figure out, like as it going, I was like trying to figure out what the game reminded me of, and I was like, oh, it's Red Dead. That's what it is. It's like high fantasy Red Dead meets some Devil May Cry, and then also Dragon's Dogma.
But does the story compare to Red Dead? Because that's none of these reviews, positive or negative, even mention the story.
It's so. Because I don't know what's happening. Like they're basically a bunch of like small self-contained stories. Like I'm starting to get a better idea now, like going into chapter 3. Because like what I'm currently trying to do in the story is rebuild your mercenary band. Basically, you're trying to track them down. It's like what my character's goal is. And so I'm starting to investigate rumors and different things. Because I just finished helping the Marquise to of the country county, so that I could he would give me land, which is where I'm starting to build my camp back up and my mercenary band, and which unlocked a whole bunch of systems that I'm starting to get.
Oh, fun.
There was also
your main characters.
There are custom characters with more personality. This dude is a non-existent piece of cardboard. It's like there's no personality. Like it doesn't have. Because the other thing is like a lot of the like information about characters is hidden away in like the knowledge section. Because basically every single thing you can interact with and find has like you'll get a journal basically that fills up with knowledge. It's literally just titled knowledge, and it's like all the animals, all the materials, all the people, and it'll have descriptions of them and other things, but it's like tucked away. It's not in your face. So there's a bunch of information that's just written in these note sections, but you're not told like in universe. So there's a
genre of game that I know does that a lot.
You like it too.
Wonder what kind of game does that.
It's even less cohesive than those, Gar.
Oh, you have to try for that.
Like, it's kind of impressive. Like, because the other thing is, the reason, by the way, that you died, as I was talking about earlier, is after finishing a few more tutorials, you go back to the abyss, you get another few gameplay mechanics, and then you meet these people who basically tell you, like, at least the impression I got is they're the ones who revived you, and they're here to balance, like, multiple worlds, like, order. Because apparently something is threatening the world. I have no idea what it is. They don't explain it. They basically just send, and then you get teleported away. You're like, what's going on? And then they just give you some cool powers and basically tell you to f*** off.
I was curious, is your character like a superhero or is he just a regular guy? Because you were doing some pretty like a standing front flip in full plate armor and just things that a regular
I'm
man
getting the impression
do.
he's superhuman because I mean he flat out dies at the beginning of the game. Like the first boss fight, like when you win or lose, you just get your throat slashed and then stabbed repeatedly in the chest and dumped in a river. Like you are deader than dead.
Okay.
So there's definitely like magic because as the previews have shown, like also late game you get a mech suit and a dragon. Like it's high fantasy. The thing is, like, it's just a huge game. Like people were saying that it's like 70 to 80 hours for story if you rush it, and it's like 300 to 400 hours to get all achievements. It's just a massively chunky game, and like a bunch of the stuff, I'm still like constantly finding new things. Like it's just like here's a new mini game, here's a new mini game, here's a new mini game. And one thing I saw funny was at the beginning of the game, you have to do arm wrestling. Like it's mandatory to progress. But some people literally can't mash it fast enough because it's mashing, and then after a short time, there's a like Dead by Daylight timing QTE. But it's just like a bunch of random mini games. Like the one mini game you came back when I found was just like bare knuckle boxing.
It was not bare knuckle. You guys were both in full plate armor boxing, which I'd never heard of before. There's something wrong there.
That's
one guy stepped into the ring. He didn't even have a helmet on. I said, what are you doing? Everybody else has full plate armor.
He's not a coward. That's why.
He said, don't hit me in the face, please.
He said, then it is an even fight. Let's go.
He lasted like 3 seconds.
Oh, no.
You know, the controls are the big thing. Story is non-existent. The exploration is fantastic. Like, it's just fun, just getting lost and wandering around so far. I've finally gotten to the point where I feel like I have enough tools to start exploring. So that's what I've started getting into. Like, when you were watching me play earlier, like, that was like my first real time, like, just kind of wandering around trying to see what I can find. And then I found the country, or like the big region to the right, which is just full of enemies. Like and they're definitely a step up from the bandits. They're actual armed soldiers, and there's literally just dozens and dozens of them, and they will all jump you simultaneously.
Yeah, I thought it was funny because you were beating up all those bandits like it was nothing, and then you attacked that lady in town, and you immediately got arrested. Like you did not have a chance to fight back. You got you punched one guard, 4 more ran up, and you were on the ground dying.
Yeah, because I didn't realize, because the guards can arrest you, so because no other enemy tackles you like that. So I had no idea what was happening for a second. That was the first time I got tackled. And it's literally
he got you down and hit you twice in the face, and the screen went black.
Yeah, no, you get knocked out.
Are the guards just that strong? Like, there's nothing you can do about them?
You can kill them. It's just they will attempt to tackle you, and if you fail the QTE twice in a row, you get captured. But you can absolutely kill them. Like, they're only slightly stronger than the bandits. It's just they basically just have an insta kill if you fail.
Don't worry, when they put you in jail, they put you in jail with all your weapons and armor on.
They also stole all my money and put me in debt.
But
That's
you're like walking
prison.
out of jail with a sword.
I mean,
The debt is the real prison. That's why.
By the way, prison in this context is like a 5x5 box that is like,
Yeah, it's like Kenshi.
it's literally the Kenshi cages, and you're just in full play. Like no one's gonna like, no one's gonna do anything. But no, exploration's been fun. There's tons of variety of creatures and stuff. Like, it's just, you don't know what anything is, so you either have to kill it or skin it or grab it to find out like what it is. So a lot of it is just like, ooh, what's this animal? And as I pick up a fox by the scruff.
Legit just wandering around the continent like Helen Keller. Like, ooh, what's
Like literally,
just
you just
grabbing
collect
things.
There's literally like 70 something types of insects that are used for like alchemy, which I haven't
Oh.
even done once. I haven't found an alchemy station, but they exist. I've gotten pop-ups and tutorials for them.
Yeah. It's nice to know that what I'm really hoping for, because you're not terribly far in the game. What my worry with games like this that I've encountered, maybe not games exactly like this, but things that offer a lot, is it technically, or not technically, it usually tends to burn out pretty fast with all the things they're throwing at you. Or you'll do something that's like unique, or not unique, but like new and interesting, and you'll do it once and then never again. And then whatever, like in the later half of the game, like all the new interesting stuff is just gone, and you're repeating the same things you've already done. So I'm hoping this game doesn't do that for you.
So far, it's been really nice in like keeping the pace of introducing new stuff. But it is also a gigantic game, so I
Yeah.
will not be surprised. If like it starts to get repetitive at some point, especially if you're gonna go for 100%, because the game is a mammoth of a game.
Speaking of how big the game is, are you able to play this on your PC, or are you a GeForce Now boy again?
I'm playing it through GeForce Now just because it's just a better thing for me to play on than my like.
Mm-hmm.
Because it was one of the 5080 ready games.
Okay.
From what I understand, the game's really well optimized. Because I've had a few issues, but they haven't been issues with the game. It's been issues with GeForce Now. Like there's a visual bug where everything gets highlighted in a color. Like all the actors or like NPC models get highlighted in a color. I kind of had to fiddle with settings till it went away.
The only thing
Okay.
I've heard is the regular PlayStation 5 kind of struggles with the game. Is what I've heard.
So what it is there's a bug. There's a bug on the PlayStation version with the settings themselves. Let me see if I can find the screenshot. But basically, if you don't, you have to turn the blur off, you have to turn depth of field off, and then you have to turn off 120 hertz in the settings, because for whatever reason, it causes the game to look really washed out for some reason. Yeah, okay, I found the screenshot. Like, here's the difference after disabling depth of field, blur, motion blur, and the 120 hertz mode.
Oh, yeah, that's
That's part of the problem, is that it's bugged for whatever reason. The other big problem on PlayStation is that if you try to zoom in on the map, there's just a chance it crashes on PlayStation.
We're not supposed to see that part yet.
gosh.
But on PC, I've had no bugs that was actually like the game's fault. It was GeForce Now. Although there have been a few things where I think the translation missed the thing. Like there was a note I was reading and it just forgot like 3 words. Where it was like bring it to the, and then the sentence ended. Like it just forgot the rest of the sentence. But there is also the thing we have to talk about, which was discovered I learned about it just a few hours ago. Is apparently there's AI art in Crimson Desert for some of the paintings.
Yeah, I've seen that too, and it's a lot too. It's not just like one or two. It is a ton of it.
5 or 6 examples, I think, of what I've seen.
Oh, I've seen even more. It's everywhere.
I am not surprised.
Yeah, and the other thing too is like I've been seeing it like being brought up on the Reddit, and it's been getting like taken down as well. It might just be duplicate posts, but like
the subreddit is on fire.
Yeah, it's very obvious AI as well. It's just it looks terrible. Everything's like all wrong with it. It's not. it's not great.
It is, though.
So I'm waiting for the statement about that. I haven't heard them say anything about it.
They have, yeah, because it was only discovered today as of the time of recording. So, and I don't think they've said anything officially on it. Nor do I expect them to.
Yeah, I mean I think the big thing is that AI or Steam rather requires a AI content disclosure, which is not on the Steam page for this game. So, yeah, I don't know what's going to happen there. I don't know what happens if you actually violate that. To be honest with you,
We'll find out, especially when it's something that is a big hype to release as Crimson Desert was.
I don't like this. May be antithetical to everything we've said in this podcast before. I don't know how much I care in a game this big where I guess I care because it's learning off of copyrighted stuff.
It's just it's just a small part, like, because it's random paintings, but it's always the slippery slope of if it's this small part that gets cut, what's next? Like, why don't we just have AI do this?
Yeah.
Why do we have AI do this? And so it's like,
yeah,
I mean, bare minimum, you have to disclose if you use it. But there's also the chance that like they bought assets or something like off an asset store, and these were included.
Maybe,
which is a possibility.
The asset store was full of AI art. Because I'm looking at this picture of horses and people, and that's AI 1,000%.
Yeah, it's like not even. There's no way you look at that and be like, "This looks good." Like, no.
Somebody would draw this. That's how you draw a horse and a person combining, I guess.
It's pretty. I mean, there's also some examples that I could totally see people like thinking that it's real. Because there's like these like town boards that have like a picture of like a little guy holding a bag and stuff, or like a skull. That's definitely AI generated, and I could see people thinking it's not. But oh yeah,
no, the horse picture.
There's some obvious
but
stuff
also,
here.
Yeah.
So who knows? We'll have to wait for them to make a statement about it and see what happens.
I guess
if they do,
I guess it's all bad because right, it's learning off of people's unauthorized works, right? But if I don't think about that, I even still have a problem with it because this is a AAA game, right? This is full price. Somebody should be paid to do this. They shouldn't cheap out. I can understand to some degree like an indie game maybe, but I think an indie game would almost get flamed harder than this. But I don't know. It's all bad. I take it all back. AI is bad. Don't do it.
Well, at the very least, they could put in their AI content disclosure.
Yeah,
Like,
the disclosure is the bare minimum you need to do here.
Yeah, so.
Because, like, a game this absolutely massive, I'm not surprised in the least that AI was used somewhere for small, quote-unquote, small details. But it's like, at least disclose that you used it if you did. As is required on the store that you were selling the game on.
Oh, shoot. Is that... I don't even know where you'd see the AI tag.
It's
a tag?
It's it's I think underneath the description on games is like
it's always at the very bottom. Like if you look on the Crimson Desert one, there's a matured content description. It would be
That's
right
what
there.
I was looking at. Okay.
Yeah, it would be in there.
Well, I hope that gets cleared up for a game that just sold 2 million copies.
They're like, too late. I got your money. I got your money. It's all AI. None of it's real. This whole game is generative AI.
Yeah.
If it was, well, I guess it's too late. AI's won.
Yeah, that's true. How do you fight that?
Like, if AI's making games like this, we're done.
Max, remember that last AI game we saw where the guy kept morphing through the floor and shooting things that weren't there?
It wasn't even a game. Let's be honest. It's not a game. It's just a video that just goes.
No, that was a real thing. He had the controller and everything, I'm sure, off screen.
Okay.
All right. Well, shoot, you got what else? What else piqued your interest about this game?
Like the just variety of enemies. like in creatures and stuff that I'm coming across, because I'm still constantly finding new things. I haven't even got to the mythical stuff yet because of the stuff that I've seen in the trailers. Like, it's very much a slow burn. Because I've seen in the trailers there's like small mountain, like moving mountain things that you have to fight. There's like a giant snake that reminiscent of Sekiro's. There's the dragon you get, the mech suit you get. There's also the hints of something that threatens the world as a whole. Like, there's just a bunch that's still there, like, that I'm looking forward to. Because I'm very excited to just go and explore and find more. Because I'm very much enjoying the world, even if the story is less... I would struggle to find something worse than it in terms of story.
Oh yeah, you know how I'm always on and on about, like, when I play a game, I don't want to know anything about it. Like, this seems like the perfect game for that, to just kind of not dig into what's there and just kind of wander around and see what happens.
That's basically what I kind of was expecting once people were talking about the story, like in the previews. It's like I was expecting basically a non-existent story where I just get like very gameplay focused, like sandbox type game, which is what it is. And was what I was looking forward to, which is why I'm loving the game, my experience with it so far. But I can absolutely see why people hate this and are immediately put off by the combination of like the incomprehensible story, like presentation that you get put with at the beginning with controls that make you feel lobotomized and that you haven't played a video game before. Because it's the game that, as I saw someone put it, is the game is doing stuff that most other games don't, and they're nailing it. Like these massive open world, like this massive world with a bunch of content, a bunch of different things to do. But it's also stumbling at things that games have solved for 25 years. Like it's got like a game design from like early 2000s, late 90s, in like some of the worst way possible. But it's not enough of cons for me for it to hamper my enjoyment with the game, because I've definitely played games with far worse. Because I've played Armored Core before. I've played with the Armored Core grip. I can handle this control scheme. I don't have to throw it upside down and backwards.
All right.
Some other things that off the top of my head that I've also enjoyed is music's been pretty good. Like I've said, the voice acting's really good. Just the awkward pauses everyone has. Like how just kind of the dynamicness, like way you get quests where it's just you kind of stumble across either people trying to ask you something, or just like the bandit like wanted posters that you just can find posted up, and you'll just learn information about it, and now you have another quest.
Yeah, like how you told me you're just kind of wandering around, and a lady that was a bounty just kind of wandered in front of you.
Yeah, no,
out of nowhere, off screen.
It's in the gameplay. It's in the gameplay for it, where I was heading back to town, I think, to clear out my inventory, and this lady dressed as a nun walks past me. I noticed she has a weird symbol. I wait, that's the bounty. So I jumped her and just started punching her repeatedly in the face, like right in front of guards. I'm like, I really hope this is the bounty. I think
no, guys,
it is.
It's okay. She has a bounty. I'm sure. I think maybe.
It's literally from these guards' perspective. This nun gets tackled by a guy in full play. She starts screaming, "Help me! He's got the wrong guy!" And they just don't even care as I am just bashing her repeatedly in the face.
Beautiful.
But it's like just the small moments, like the emergent gameplay that I've had. Because the other thing is that like this camp that I had, I got a quest to go clear out a quarry that was captured by bandits. And it starts with a boss fight against like a mining robot. And after I beat it, it's like, okay, now actually kill the bandits that are around the camp. What it didn't tell me is that I need to kill like 300 people. So I was fighting for like 45 minutes, just carving my way through this camp, because the way camps work is you have to kill a certain number of enemies and then you take it over. And it starts ticking down. But over time, like every 30 seconds, the bar will go back up slightly. Like you need to kill one more person. Like it slowly gets reinforced. So I'm just slowly carving my way through. There's explosive barrels. Things are exploding. I'm just slowly working my way. I earned like 4 or 5 skill points doing it. So, because I was wondering what this bar on my left was, and until I eventually figured out, oh, it's an EXP bar of sorts where I get a skill point when it fills up. But no, that took me like 45 minutes, and that's part of the reason why I probably got used to combat like that, is because I was just fighting for 45 minutes straight.
Is there like survival elements in this game?
Like very loosely, in terms of like there's like the Breath of the Wild like element system that hasn't come into play for me yet.
Yeah, because I see there's a bar that tracks temperature. But so I wasn't sure if there's anything. And like, is there anything to do in town besides like gathering quests and talking to people? Is there like, can you buy housing or anything like that?
There is a housing. I know there's housing in some regard. I just don't have access to it yet. I'm not far enough along. Because the big thing I just got is starting to build a camp back up. Like I just start. Eventually, I'm going to be able to build buildings and have like just have people work there. But like it's still very much early, where there's like, and because from what I've seen, because I was reading, is like there's still mechanics in gameplay stuff that gets introduced later and later and later. Like you are constantly getting new things from what people were saying. From people who've had like 100 plus hours.
All right, might be the game of all time then. Interesting.
You know, I always complain about like having no patience with games. This might be the kind of game I'd like, just because it seems like the story is next to nothing.
The problem
you're just doing stuff.
The other thing that I have to explain about is the problem with this lack of story but it's forced on you kind of situation where you can't like skip cutscenes. You just kind of have this like weird fast forward mechanic you can do. Like these like where it pitches the voice up and it pitches the music up. It's really funny. Like some of them sound really scuffed, but you can just fast forward it, which helps to get you like back in the thing. The other thing is like if you were looking at the controls, is the way that it feels is it takes some getting used to how Cliff controls the main character, because he's kind of chunky. Like the movement is very deliberate. Like it's like how you control in GTA, although not quite as bad. But it definitely took some getting used to.
Yeah, I get what you mean. I remember people were saying that too when we're watching videos of people playing the early builds of it, that they feel kind of almost delayed. Like there's almost a delay to your movement.
There's definitely like a slight delay. Like I noticed it. Because originally I was like, do I have GeForce Now? Like, am I experiencing delay in my controls? But and then I realized that no, like the camera's pretty, like normally responsive. It's literally just the Cliff like turns. Like just kind of like you can feel the very like 1/6 of a second delay he has before he starts turning.
Is more realistic movement. Yeah.
It's not an issue in combat. It's just mostly moving around. The thing that is going to probably drive me insane though is the fact that like everything has like a 1 second pickup animation. It's going to drive me insane by the end of the game.
Reminds me of Red Dead. I'm actually playing through Red Dead 2 again, and like everything takes forever to pick up or do anything.
Yeah, it's very similar. It's very weird because I kind of want to see if people are saying the same thing at Red Dead's launch, because it's very reminiscent of a lot of like things I would see people have problems with Red Dead would also have problems in this game, and vice versa.
That's a game I bought, and I'm still like waiting for. I'll just re-download it. I think you just start it. I just know that like there's a lot of doing nothing at times except watching, and I know the story's supposed to be great and the acting, everything's supposed to be great.
That's kind of it's very similar in Crimson Desert, where there's a lot of like not quite downtime, but mundane work. Like,
I don't think you would like Red Dead.
I wouldn't recommend Crimson Desert to you either, but for the same reason, it's just the downtime.
Yeah, I can guarantee you're not going to like it.
Well, now I have to try it.
Because a lot of it also is you're just following people while on your horse.
Crimson Desert also has quite a bit of that, although thankfully you only need to hold the A button and it will auto turn and follow them for you.
Red Dead 2 kind of does that, or tries to. I find that it messes up a lot. Sometimes the auto pathing is just kind of screwy.
Crimson Desert's been pretty good with just being able to hold A.
But you can't fly,
Right.
so that's cool.
Yeah, I saw it's, what is it, 6 hours to walk across the world and like 2 hours to fly or something.
I think that's made up statistic. I don't know how long it actually
I have no
takes.
proof. Yeah,
It would
just
I would not
a picture I
doubt it.
saw.
I would not doubt it that it would take 5 or 6 hours to actually get across that world if you were walking or like just on foot.
Well, you got any final words on it, or do you want to move on to Monster Hunter? Would you recommend this game? What score would you give it with your playtime so far?
It's really
Just
hard
gotta
to
think
score.
about it.
It's really hard to score. Because objectively, I would probably rate it like around a 7.5. But my enjoyment of what I would rate it, like what I personally am getting out of it, is like a 9 out of 10. Like a 9.5.
Oh.
But like there's too many issues, like a completely non-existent story, a terrible onboarding experience, and like controls that though I'm used to, and they like I have no problem with them. I'm just trying to, but it's such a common complaint that like they're valid. It's just not an issue for me.
I get it. I mean, that's how I always felt about Monster Hunter. Like, I couldn't recommend it, even though I loved like the Savage Omega fight. That whole trying to get that done was like the best gaming I've had all last year.
I think I could recommend Monster Hunter now after they fixed all the issues. But
Oh yeah, now absolutely. I should have changed my review, like I said I would.
with Crimson Desert, I remember those same problems people were having before the game came out, and I was like, "Ooh, that's going to be rough to fix before launch." And then I looked at the release date. I was like, "Oh, it's in 2 weeks." Never mind. You can't fix that. Oh,
It's going to be a nice patch sometime after launch.
Yeah, because at some point, I think they were saying they had to have the developers like help people get through the tutorials because they just couldn't figure it out. Like, they couldn't figure out what to do.
Yeah, no, the tutorials are way more verbose now in those sections. That
Man.
those are like it's much more like do this, then this, then this, or like the one that was like use the force palm on the thing. It like now tells you climb on it, go to the center, hit the button.
But it's very telling because when you're making a game, like generally the beginning section, like the first part that the player's going to play is usually the most polished. It's usually the one that is like has the most time handed to it. So if people are already having problems at the very start, you can only imagine what the middle of the game looks like, where all the other parts are.
Because that was the thing with the early reviews and a lot of reviews is like the people who like loved it, like a lot of the time said the first 8 hours, the first 5 hours are rough.
Yeah.
Like it's just such a terrible onboarding experience.
All right, well, hopefully they can fix that, but that seems like that's a heavy ordeal. They're gonna have to work pretty hard to do that.
I know some people have been commenting on the inventory. I know that I should probably touch on this because it's one of the other big issues is that I've seen people talk about is the inventory is you have a certain number of slots for items, right? They in response to reviewers saying that like the inventory was too limiting at the beginning, like they gave us an extra 30 slots to start with. And basically a bunch of the side quests reward you 1, 3, or 5 inventory slots. Each one you complete to have more items to hold. But the problem with the inventory is there's no place to store them right now. It's coming in a patch, like the first patch. They're adding a chest that's allow you to store items.
That's wild for something that's like a single player game. Like that's something that should be there. That sounds like some MMO. I mean, you can see why this used to be an MMO. Because man, to add storage later, for a single player experience is
it's
kind
very
of whack.
Like, I haven't struggled with inventory. I think the extra 30 slots we've gotten helped alleviate a lot of the early issues. Because, like, I could absolutely see why it's such an issue. Like, I've already doubled my inventory. Although I still have to go clear out my inventory, like, every 2 hours or so. Especially if I've just gotten in huge fights. Because you can quickly fill your inventory with a bunch of stuff to sell off of bandits. But, like, everything you do, like, quest-wise, kind of just rewards you with more inventory. The other thing is that you can buy, like, inventory space off of every merchant. Every, like non-generic merchant has a inventory bag for sale for cheap. So it rewards you just going around and finding, like, shops, because it rewards you with more inventory. Like, you're getting rewarded in a lot of ways with materials to either improve or skill points or inventory space. Like, it's very much an MMO's, like, sense of progression in terms of constantly rewarding the player in small ways. The other thing that's really neat that I kind of forgot about till now is that when, like, you go to a town for the first time, is, like, all of the markers on the map are question marks, so you kind of have to go around and explore and figure out what everything is, which just gives a small sense of exploration to the towns.
All right. Well then. So recommend, but for only I mean, try it, I guess. Could you buy this and return it in 2 hours and know if you were going to like it or not?
You would know if you weren't going to like it.
Okay.
For
so
sure.
there's some, yeah.
But, like, the game definitely is improving the more I play, is kind of the problem. But it's like the first parts are very slow and kind of boring. But, like,
also just the, like, initial story hook I've heard is also not very appealing either. It feels kind of,
there isn't a story hook because it's so incomprehensible on what's happening.
Exactly. Like, this is not good.
Like,
you just
I
don't
have
be
more of
like,
a character.
oh boy,
I have
I
more
can't
of a
wait to
story
learn
hook. More of a story hook now because I'm starting to find my comrades again, and you have to figure out, like, where they are. Because it's just I have an understanding of, like, what I'm doing.
Well,
'Cause-
remember, none of us know what the Final Fantasy 14 story is, and we've put hundreds and hundreds of hours into that game.
That's true.
So it may not matter that much if the game is fun enough.
And for me, the game is fun enough.
All right. Well, that is a kind of recommendation. I'll take it. That's an hour of review, so do with that what you will. We're gonna do Monster Hunter, but I think we're at time here.
Yeah.
Do you want to, like, give a tiny Monster Hunter review, or are you good? It's okay.
The story 3 is very good. I can recommend it.
Everything works. It does what you expected it to do after playing Stories 2.
Yeah, it's better. I would say it's a better game than Stories 2. It has some questionable things that were a little concerning. Mostly just, like, which monsters were taken out, like, from 2 to 3. Like, there is some questionable cuts to the roster, but the ones that were added are really nice, including some Wilds monsters.
Cool. Well, I think that's gonna be it. We don't need a whole ass review on that. I don't even know if there's a whole lot to talk about in that game, because you're just like, if you like Monster Hunter Stories 1 and 2, you're probably gonna like this as well.
I would say that there's a bit to talk about, but not on the same level as Crimson Desert.
All right. We'll leave it at Crimson Desert then. Thank you so much for doing that. I don't have that kind. I wish I could review again. That's got to be tough to be a reviewer. I was looking at everybody bitching about the reviews that came out, and I'm saying, man, these reviewers suck. They're all trash. They're this and that. And I'm like, after doing this podcast, like, to be under the stress of, like, getting a review out for a 100-hour game and having it be as, like, useful as you could that's a real hard sell. You know what I'm saying? Like, even if you did, because you need to get it out as soon as possible based on how, if you work for like a major news thing. But like, you can't play the game properly if you're trying to rush through everything as fast as possible. Like, you're just going to be missing some things, which is why I bet all the reviews are kind of all over the place. I don't know, just something to chew on, to think about when it comes to hating your favorite game reviewers, as these people, that's what I saw a lot of. Everybody's hating on review websites. Anyway, y'all got anything else you want to throw out there, or are we good today?
Real quick, Subnautica 2 thing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so a while back, Krafton fired a bunch of the Subnautica 2 developers, basically the heads of the company, and it, in a lawsuit in response, Krafton's now been found guilty of wrongfully usurping control of the company, and they have now been forced to be reinstated. This came out after we learned that the CEO of Krafton had apparently just been asking ChatGPT how to not pay this huge bonus, and this was the answer that they gave them, was to just fire them.
I didn't know that.
Oh yeah,
I only knew the old part. I thought, because when we first did the article, it was like, this guy fired us and we don't really know why. It was just to get out of paying us our bonus we were due. And he's like, no, it's because you were using company time to start a band or make a movie or something. But that wasn't it, huh?
No. Well, they're still saying that was the reason, but it came out during the trial that the Krafton CEO had been apparently asking ChatGPT like every day, pretty much, like a lot, on how they can get out of paying this $250 million bonus. And funny enough, apparently it has changed its answer since then. But yeah, so now they are going to be reinstated. I don't know like what this even does, to be honest, because it's not going to get them that 250 million. I'm pretty sure, definitely not. And I don't know what's stopping them from just, firing them again. So,
well, I'm sure they can't legally do that.
Yeah, I'm sure they'll find
like
some
employee protections and whatnot.
They'll find some excuse to do something similar. But yeah,
well, aren't they in charge of like the entire early access? Didn't they have to hand over controls to them basically on everything?
Yeah, Krafton took complete control of the game, of
Steam launch and everything.
Yeah, so maybe it means we'll get Subnautica 2 earlier, but so far we have no news about like what this actually will do to Subnautica 2. So we just have to kind of wait and see. But yeah, that was a quick little update on how that lawsuit went.
It's funny that you say that, because it kind of solidifies the idea that all these company layoffs and selling off of dev teams and whatnot is just management asking ChatGPT how we save money, and it's giving everybody the same kinds of answers.
Oh yeah. I mean, I'm sure the answer is only because it's looking at what like is happening in the game industry and with gaming CEOs, and this is what they're doing. So ChatGPT just like, here, do it again.
Yep. Everybody else is burning all their employees. You do it too. That's the company way.
Yeah, and it matches that survey that we saw last year, where they asked like what roles are using generative AI the most, and it was business. The business executives were using it the most, marketing and business. So yeah, even the CEOs are doing it, which
I hope. Go for it.
I was gonna say, it's kind of wild that they're like a $250 million like thing. They're like, I wonder what ChatGPT has to say about this. Yeah, let's do that. Like, that's wild.
These AI tech bros are really like, it's this, they have like the basest understanding of how it works, and I feel like they think it's magic. Like, this is a magic 8-ball we just shake and it gives us the correct answer, or the answer we want to hear. Not, the environmental impacts or workforce impacts or quality assurance impacts. They're just like, I ask a question, it gives me the answer. This is incredible.
And it doesn't complain. If I tell it to give me a better answer, it just gives me a better one.
I don't have to pay it anything. Like, what's not to love? This is great.
Oh,
Yeah, cool. I hope that no matter what, and this may be a little selfish, regardless of what the company does, regardless of what the devs do, that Subnautica 2 is as good as the first, because I love that first one. That's a good game.
oh yeah, lots of people are excited for it, especially after the was it DLC Subnautica?
It's like I don't know what it is actually. It's not DLC. It's like I don't know what you'd call it. It's a shorter, smaller version in a different area, but it's not directly attached to the first one.
The Below Zero one. Yeah, after like people someone enjoyed it, but a lot of people said this is not as good as the first one.
I turned it off pretty quick into it.
Yeah, so everyone's very hyped for Subnautica 2. From what little we've seen, it looks pretty good. So just hoping.
Cool, I'm ready for that. If you're ready for that, let us know in the comments. Be a dear and leave a like for us. Tell your friends. Share us on Insta, Twitter, X, Talk.
Don't forget Blue Sky.
One of the things. If you have any questions or comments, did you have some?
Yeah, no, I just remembered this. Little bit thing I remembered about Crimson Desert. It doesn't boot at all on Intel Arc graphics.
Yeah, I heard it doesn't support it.
Yeah, it doesn't support it at all. It literally has a built-in kill switch where if it detects it, goes, it doesn't work on this. It won't boot. Which I'm not surprised, because I forgot until that I saw that news that they even existed. The Arc GPUs existed. I forgot.
Well, I feel bad for those folks. I hope they get refunds. Unlike, oh my gosh, what game isn't giving Oh, it was Highguard again. Never mind. I saw somebody complaining like they won't give me my refund for my Highguard, my Keeley coins. I'm like, duh. Why did you?
I thought they were
buy
getting
anything
automatic
in that
refunds.
Game? No, the one post I saw was somebody complaining about it, that they spent money on the in-game currency for Highguard and they weren't getting any of that back refunded. And everybody just told him he got what he deserved.
I was remembering because there's some dude who said he bought currency in Highguard and Sony refunded it even without him asking.
Oh, maybe this guy was talking about Steam not refunding, so maybe there's a bit of a mix-up. Who knows?
Yeah, because from what I remember, is like Sony was sending out some refunds automatically for whatever reason because of them shutting down.
Man, and Sony did Concord as well refunds, yeah?
I believe so, yeah.
Oh my god. Sony. Anyway. I feel bad for what that company has had to do.
Wait for the marathon refunds. The marathon refunds. Man,
I hope
coming.
Marathon's doing well. Especially after, oh my god, I looked up the old Marathon, the original that it's based off of.
Yeah.
That's not even like whatever they did to it, they bastardized the hell out of Marathon to make it fit what's going on. Like it was a Doom clone or something.
Yeah, it's a very different game.
It was a boomer shooter.
Like an old Doom, yeah. And it's now Arc. Anyways, that's our time. We're way past what I meant to do. If you have any questions or comments, leave them on the video, leave a like, or hit us up at giantenemycrabpod@gmail.com. Is that all I usually say? That's pretty much all I usually say. Yeah, cool. I'm good. All right. We'll catch you next week. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Bye.